week's episode of Seraph of the End. You and Gurren's squads team up together and prepare for an assault on the noble vampires. And Mika plays both sides of the conflict and has a chance encounter with a human soldier. I've said it before and I'll say it again, the second season of Seraph of the End is infinitely better than the first in a number of different ways, and I loved this episode mostly for the scene with Mika, probably the strongest scene that I think the character has actually had in the series thus far. But it was still a very simple episode, and the first half actually offered a little bit of new material. We got to see a little bit more of Crowley, the perpetually smiling vampire. We also got to see him hanging out with his entourage, Kessen-hen, who have two really big personalities. The sexual overtones in this scene might be a little cheesy for most, but it features a really cool scene with Crowley actually testing out a human weapon where he sends his subordinate chest just slamming into a wall, which doesn't really seem to bother her all that much, just letting us know again that this trio right here are incredibly powerful, and they're also worried that there might be either another vampire or human among the ranks that's selling out information to the human resistance. Chess and Horn are also a pretty nice duo. I like the fact that they're very different from one another, with Chess being the more playful and psychopathic of the two. She's actually sucking the blood of a soldier in this episode, something that apparently she shouldn't be doing in the first place. Basically, Chess is naughty and Horn is nice. The other part of this episode is we get to see all of these other squads come together as they prepare to attack the noble vampires. U squad is doing pretty good, and Gurren squad shows up and they're pretty beat up. Despite that, they're getting ready to team up and begin this big assault. But there's this other team which is led by this female character by the name of Aiko Aihara, a character who's barely been in the series whatsoever, but this is without a doubt her defining episode right here. She's basically completely disheveled over the fact that pretty much her entire team, for the most part, has been wiped out, and Gurren has told her to stay behind. If any other teams show up, tell them the plan, and they will follow it. The problem is no other teams show up. Mika and his squad show up, and they completely choke out all of these guys and try to get some information out of them. But a lot of them have these poison capsules and pills in their mouth, basically like a cyanide pill, so they decide to all kill themselves. But Mika actually ends up taking this pill out of Aihara's mouth. Mika even tried to save her life by saying that she actually did swallow her pill, but that's not going to stand for Aihara. She actually ends up putting a knife right to Mika's neck, but this is when they begin to secretly talk to each other because she actually does trust Mika at this point and she wants to tell him a little bit more about you so that Mika can actually find him. And then Mika goes through this plan where he basically just beats the ever-living shit out of her, basically to try and leave her for dead. The problem is his comrades want to bring her along so that they can torture her and try to get more information out of her, and that's when she suddenly gets up, begging to be killed, and she pulls out this bow and arrow, which, by the way, her bow and arrow is awesome. She takes out a helicopter with it in this episode in a really nice action scene. Left with no choice, Mika pulls out his sword and kills her with one giant slash. This scene is really powerful because of course she was begging for death and this was the only way that she was going to get it. She even realized if she was captured and tortured, she was just going to be killed eventually anyway. And she doesn't exactly say it out loud, but you can clearly see that she's thanking Mika for killing her. And the scene here is also really good because they actually use the old original opening theme, which has been recorded a little differently, XU Jemmy, and they play that during that scene, and it really makes it have this powerful impact. Probably one of my favorite scenes from the entire series, and it really hit me right here, and they did a really good job of that because this is a character who hasn't really been in the series that much at all, basically in the background for a couple of episodes, but they made me actually care about everything that she went through this week, and I felt really sad when she had to be killed by Mika. It was really strange, and still, Mika doesn't even have time to think about this. All he's focused on is finding you. And at the end of the episode, you and Gurren's group are getting ready to begin their big assault, and I'm sure it's going to be pretty awesome. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Seraph of the End? This one was really good. What I really loved about this one is probably the first episode of the series to focus 90% on like a brand new character and not like on the main cast at all. That's not to say that they weren't there. They were all there in full force and all of their awkward ridiculousness. I only say awkward because Yu is just so annoyingly upbeat, but he has a lot of funny scenes in this episode when all the other groups come in and, you know, hanging out with Gurren and everything, seeing how beat up they are compared to Yu's team. Like, he had to comment on that just a little bit. The Crowley scene at the beginning of the episode was also cool. They need to build up this guy a little bit more so that we can care about him. You know, he's been popping up little by little as the series is going on, and I like the concept of them really realizing that there's someone who's passing information to the humans. I'm really interested to see how that story route is going to go, but really my favorite part about this episode was the story about Aiko Aihara. I thought that was handled really, really well. Like I said, this is a character I knew nothing about, and I really cared for her plight in this episode. There's also a little bit of cool action, like I loved her bow and arrow taking out the giant helicopter. That looked really awesome, impactful, and featured a really kick-ass explosion. The action scene at the beginning where Crowley knocks Chest against the wall, that looked really cool, and also again demonstrates how powerful and indestructible the characters are. The animation, the artwork, looked really good, and I love the fact that there's always a few distinctive characters in the series. That's not to say there aren't a couple of cloned soldiers that we see every now and then, but just about every character has like their own defined personality and design, and that's really hard to do in an anime series. But yeah, nothing too groundbreaking yet again, just another really good, competently done episode, which had some really nice atmospheric moments, especially during that tense confrontation at the end. I thought it was handled really well, especially when that music came in. That really hit me right here, guys. Just a really great way to end that scene, and definitely made it one of the more unique episodes of the second season, and one of the more serious ones that we've seen thus far. Clearly, shit's about to get real, and we're gonna have to wait to see how that's going to go down. What I will say is, I like this episode. I don't think it was perfect. I think there were some parts they could have gotten through a little quicker, but I still think this was a really solid and really entertaining episode of Seraph of the End. Like I said, it's not like reinventing anything, but it's still a really fun show to watch. So I'm going to give this one right here a 4 out of 5. Check it out, Seraph of the End fans. You might see something you like. Remember, before you guys leave today, make sure to tell me what you thought about this week's episode of Seraph of the End. Did you have a favorite character who showed up? A favorite scene? What did you think of the story of Aiko Aihara? What do you think is going to happen with Mika and you? And what do you want to see from the rest of the Seraph of the End anime series? Please tell me in the comments section below. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like it and share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be able to see all of our latest anime and manga reviews and our weekly podcast show. Make sure to also follow us on social media. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby!